welcome back to 13C. A couple of months ago, two things came in from White Label Armory here for us to test out. One of them was one of their Billet stripped uppers, and the other was their DLC bolt carrier bin here. If you're not familiar with White Label Armory, the name is relatively new. The company itself is not. White Label Armory is basically their consumer sales side. Their parent company makes and manufactures tons of AR parts for various other AR manufacturers. So, and some of those names you'd be surprised with. I don't know exactly how much that is proprietary or not. But in any event, they do make, and from what I've seen so far, they do make pretty nice parts, pretty decent high-end parts, and I think some of on their website they offer a couple different tiers. What I did was, this was a stripped upper. I went ahead after it came in and I created an account on their website, and I ordered just a regular consumer just to see how fast they're going to actually ship their stuff out. Because one of the things that they boast about online a lot is that they ship, if you get your order in by noon, they ship same day, and then basically 2-day shipping, because they use USPS priority flat rate for most of the stuff that they send out. So I ordered it like midnight. The next day at noon I got my shipping confirmation. I went out that day, and since I'm one state away, I actually had it the day after that. So that was pretty quick, and I ordered 2 or 3 dozen really small parts, bunch of loose parts. All those pins that I talk about losing in my barn, and I'm cannibalizing part set after part set, I refilled all those with that order, as well as the one main reason why I actually ordered was to complete this upper with their upper completion kit. I did that, and that came right in. The parts are good. They made up nicely. This is, as I mentioned, this is a billet upper. This is 7075 T6 aluminum. If we've talked about billet versus forged in the past, and the differences and why billet costs more. Usually they're finished a little nicer. This is hard coat anodized on here for this upper. So I don't want to get bogged down in the details of forged versus billet, but in any event, we'll put a link down below, maybe, or we'll annotate it if they'll let us, and they reinstated that feature for the channel here. YouTube's being awful. Let's talk about the bolt carrier. So the bolt carrier here is kind of the more interesting piece of this. The bolt carrier is what they call their DLC, or diamond-like coating, and part of that coating on here actually causes it to change colors depending on how much or how little oil or moisture, water, whatever is on here. So it varies from a darker purple to a light lavender, I suppose, which is kind of interesting. We've been running it on this lower, and in the lower I can't really talk about what this is. I'll figure out some way to talk about that later, perhaps. But anyway, there'll be a video on the bang switch that's in here. This is a second generation that's in here over on Gunstreamer and on Full 30, so definitely follow us over there if you haven't, because they don't allow that kind of thing here on YouTube. At least sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and we don't really want another strike here on the channel after all the shenanigans that happened to us recently. So again, we've been complying with all their stuff, but you know how they are. All right, back onto the bolt carrier. We'll get some pictures up here of it, so I don't take it out now because it's kind of dirty. It's A620. It's a M16 profile. The bolt itself is 9310 steel. It's 556 bolt. It's heat treated, shot pinged, and H&M black nitride on the bolt itself, and yes, MPI tested as well. The gas key is billet. It's 4140 billet, which is nice to see. It also has the DLC on there, and it is properly staked with grade 8 fasteners. The pin is 4140 heat treated, and that same black nitride finish. They've done as much to this bolt carrier as you can do to do it properly. And to finish it off, you've got a 17.4 stainless steel firing pin in here, and everything in here as part of this is made in the USA, which again is nice. The rest of this build, I'm actually using a CMMG barrel on here. This is that heavy profile stainless steel barrel. You saw this barrel with one of the quick detach rail systems to break down ARs a couple years back. In the testing on that, and what we've seen here with this one, properly torqued and set up with the CMMG 15-inch handguard on here, or actually this is a 13-inch handguard I put on here. This is one of the ones I had laying around. That's one of the reasons why it's key mod on here. This is a hell of an accurate barrel, easily 3/4 inch 5-round groupings at 100 yards that we did our testing before, and putting it in this setup with this forged upper. We haven't seen any changes with that. It is still shooting just as well. So we're not going to focus in on that. If you want to know more about that barrel, you can check out one of the that older video from the past. The lower here has check out Full 30 in Gunstreamer. We'll put a link down below when this video is live, because I really don't want to talk about that too much, you know, because I don't want to get in trouble. In any event, we're rolling footage here of us shooting it. So the bang switch that we've been running in here is from a company that's name is Foz, and then the second half of that name would be the beginning part of the word technology. We really can't talk about it here, but we are going to have full coverage of this on Full 30 and Gunstreamer. Otherwise, you know, if you shout into a canyon, that sound that you hear, that's the, and the second part of that, since that would be a second generation, would be the overall terminology that you would use to describe a group of things together, such as like baseball, soccer, basketball, foosball, right? So that's what that is. Running the hell out of it. We are just going to operate it in its normal mode here because, you know, overlords and whatnot. But subscribe to us if you haven't already on Gunstreamer and Full 30, preferably both, and those will have the video on this bang switch here over there, so that we don't get, we've already been, you know, we went from being partially demonetized, fully demonetized. Now we were removed from the YouTube partnership. They've taken away a lot of features from us. I think our time here is very limited on the tubes. But in any event, please follow us over there. And if you haven't subscribed to us here, subscribe to us here. You know, the bigger the channel, maybe they'll be less likely to ban us. I have no idea. Anyway, let's put a few rounds through this guy with this regular. A lot of projects concurrently. We have a lot of different things in the hopper at any given time. So while we may be out here today, the primary focus is to wrap up this white label Armory video. We're also messing around with and doing a bunch of other different work as well. One of the things here is with the Bowers Vers 30, and I just wanted to run it on this setup so you guys could hear it here today, because we're enjoying what we're hearing from it. So we'll put most of them into the dirt. We'll put one into the steel for you, just so you can hear the difference here. Take a listen. That does a really nice job on 5.56. Anyway, let's get back into the video. Bolt carrier that's in here has seen quite a few rounds through it, giving the bang switch that's in here a run for its money. For most of it, we'll have a link down below and a discount code they're extending to subscribers down there for you guys. We've ran this bolt carrier and upper through its paces here with the bang switch that's in here. We'll just call it that for right now. And definitely subscribe to us here for more content, and check us out on Gunstreamer and Full 30 so that you can see the videos on things like the bang switch that's in here that YouTube frowns upon and doesn't like to see. Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it. Facebook.com/gun reviews. You can also find us on Instagram. We're at 13C Gun Reviews. And we've got a ton of new stuff coming up, a ton of new NFA content coming out, at least one NFA item a month here for the next several months. Looking forward in the future about as far as we can look out. We're gonna be working on some new giveaways for you guys. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, do that, please. That's how we give away all the stuff that we give away. We do that via the newsletter, because whether it's YouTube, Gunstreamer, Full 30, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everybody's got an email address, and not everybody follows us on all of those. So this way, if you're a subscriber, no matter where it is, all you have to do is hit the newsletter and you're automatically entered. And we're going to be working on those as the holidays roll out, and try and get you guys some cool stuff and give back a little bit as the holidays hit. Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it. And we have a Patreon as well if you're interested in that. Patreon.com/13C. Is it 13C.patreon? I don't know. We'll put the link down below so you can see it. Thanks, everybody. Take care. We'll talk soon.